How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday night. Welcome to the Drew Estate Cigar Studios, and welcome to episode 105 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you guys so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube. And if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thanks for listening while you drive down the road or work out, whatever it is you do while you listen to your favorite audio podcast. Thank you very much for making us a part of that. And as I mentioned, we always come to you live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios. And let's talk once again about the brand new package box designs for the popular Undercrown lines. These new boxes will roll out for all Undercrown lines, including Undercrown Shade, Undercrown Sungrown, and the original Undercrown Maduro. Finally, and most importantly, all these classic Undercrown blends will remain unchanged. A decade ago, the staff at the Drew Estate factory realized they had to reduce their consumption of Liga Privada No. 9 cigars in order to keep up with consumer demand. These hardworking men and women in Esteli then created their own signature cigar to enjoy, constructed with many of the same rare tobaccos found in Liga Privada. The grassroots Undercrown cigar brand debuted, followed by Undercrown Shade and then the Undercrown Sungrown. For more info, please visit drewestate.com. So, Garrett, episode 105.
105 episodes.
It's insane.
It's amazing.
So, this week, as always, guys, we talk a little bit kind of current events, mostly surrounding our favorite sports teams. The Twins are starting off pretty good.
Yeah.
Dropped the opener in a, extra innings loss, but Barrios had a killer game. Game 2, Barrios gets out there, and actually that was a great pitching duel. I don't remember the name of the pitcher from Milwaukee, but it was a huge pitching duel.
Yep.
And I think they each made it 6 2/3.
Yeah.
And pitched phenomenal games.
Almost a no-hitter.
Yeah. So 2-0, and then so we'll see how it goes. And then the Minnesota Wild. I don't understand this. So we're not like the biggest hockey guys in the world, but we love the Minnesota Wild, and it doesn't make sense how they beat the better teams and they lose to the not so better teams. We're still stuck in third place in the division. We beat, we lose to the Avalanche, and then we beat Colorado, and now we're playing the Avalanche live right now. I don't even know what the score is, but they just can't seem to decide who they want to be. And I can't.
No, we'll go and beat, Las Vegas, which is a good team.
Yeah.
Really good team.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Alabama, who doesn't have a team.
Alabama. Yeah. Then we lose to Alabama. And they, like Garrett said, they don't have a team. So I don't know. It's, it's all good. Football news. The Jets and the Panthers made a very weird trade that doesn't make any sense to anybody. I don't think.
On either side of the ball, for me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't get it.
We'll see how it goes. But I think although both teams, I think, made a horrible trade, I think the Jets got the slightly better end of it.
They got a ton of picks.
We'll see how it goes. But it's the Jets, so Jets fans don't get excited. It's the Jets.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry. So guys, to episode 105, we have some great special guests coming on the show right now. And as always, we know that special guests of How About That Cigar Live are brought to you by Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers you the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars containing Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, president and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Jeff Borshowitz, believed it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Lake Mary, and also the Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. For more info on all of that, please visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, if you would please put your hands together and welcome to episode 105 of How About That Cigar Live from Amendola Family Cigar Company, Jeffrey Amendola and Chris Monaco. Guys, welcome to How About That Cigar Live.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nice to be here. What's up, guys?
We're having a beautiful night here in Minnesota. We talked a little bit before we went live. We're having warm temps in Minnesota in April, which is kind of unheard of. So we're loving having the big doors open and all the airflow and not worrying about, freezing our asses off out here.
That's right.
You guys are in the Carolinas. How's the weather out there?
I was going to say today's 75, 78.
Yeah, it was nice.
Last couple of days been like that. Yeah.
So yesterday Jeffrey, you're coming to us from North Carolina, and Chris, you're in South Carolina.
That is correct.
Awesome. Can you let us know what you are smoking and drinking this evening?
I'm smoking a Amendola Maturo out of our core line from coming out of the Aganorsa factory, and I'm drinking a little Woodford Reserve Double Oak.
Double Oak.
Nice, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jeffrey, how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing the Naturale. It's a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, also made at the Aganorsa factory. This is one of my favorite cigars that we make, and I am pairing it right now with Elijah Craig small batch bourbon.
Very nice.
Yeah,
and
it's delicious.
Matt and I didn't plan this, but I am smoking the Maduro.
And I got the Naturale. And I've got the Nicaraguan rum, Florida Caña 12-year. It's going very nice cigar.
Good. And that's a good pairing, actually.
Is the alcoholic of the group? I've got my bubbly water and this new groovy stout, which is a fantastic non-alcoholic beer that and I'm one of those
groovy.
I'm one of those guys. I love thick dark beers like stouts and porters, and it's hard to find NA stouts and porters that are worth a damn, and that groovy is actually really good.
So good.
It's really good.
And there's no alcohol at all in it?
Yeah, it's 0%.
This one is 0, like where O'Doul's has like point.
Yeah, it's like 0.4 or something.
I'm sure that's going to pair well with this though, because that's a heavier dark, like it's a little sweetness to it, but it's chocolatey. It's very dark chocolatey.
It's full,
like roasted. So that stout would probably go very well with that. Let us know how it tastes, bud.
I will, man. As we go along, exactly. We'll check in
with scotch and whiskey. So let me know what you think.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the origin story. I was able to do some homework on you guys.
I was not. So that's sorry, guys. I was 14-hour days at my day job have been killing me lately. So Garrett is the man that put this show together. Absolutely.
So Jeffrey, let's start with you. 2010 comes around and you fall in love with premium cigars.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Well, I started to fall in love with it actually a little earlier than that, but I fell in love with it more on the level of I wanted this to be like my lifestyle thing. It was a hobby that was definitely turned into a lifestyle. But I was in the police academy. I moved to Durham, North Carolina around 2010. And I was in the police academy at the time. That's when I really started smoking on a regular basis. Like every weekend turned into every couple nights. And it was my therapy, man. I had to do it. It was my thing. It became my thing. I fell in love with it more than ever before at that time.
Awesome. And Chris, if I'm not mistaken, around the same time, you got into cigars.
Yeah, that's when I really I joined the lounge. I was there every day. I was smoking 2, 3, 4 cigars a day. I started really getting into the different brands and, trying to develop my palate and get into the whole community side and aspect of it. And I just fell in love with it immediately. At the time of my life, I was going through a lot of changes. My lifestyle was changing a lot. I just gotten married. My wife at the time, girlfriend, was pregnant. I just got out of the band. So I was kind of searching for something to kind of be a part of and kind of, take up that time that I was doing, since the changes in my life were going on, kind of, fill those voids and that gap. with something to do, and it became Cigars. And the same thing. I just fell in love with it immediately. So
That's beautiful.
Just gravitated toward it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great community to, to fill those voids. I think, for me, when I've had those times, the cigar community has been just a beautiful community for love, support, and all of that jazz.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I used to say, I mean, some of the guys back in the lounge, man, I mean, we were like family. I mean, no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
It's weird how that happens.
More than I would talk to some of my family, because we would see each other every day. You know, I would catch, and I always say it's the greatest equalizer. I mean, that's what turned me on to it too, was that, I got in there and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the detective of my town, the mayor, but I'm also talking to steam fitters, and I'm a blue collar guy. I was an elevator escalator mechanic for the city, so I talked to plumbers, I talked to electricians, so it was like you just had so many different people from all different aspects and walks of life come together, and as soon as you sit down, I'm sitting down with a lawyer who makes $300,000, $500,000 a year, and I'm a city worker, and we're talking like normal, where on the street, he probably would have never talked to me. I probably would have never talked to him, so that's
one of the
things. It's so unique about the cigar culture.
Yeah. I actually just realized, I think Chris and I probably talked about this before, but I just realized I'm looking at my circle of people that I associate with. And I just realized that I only associate with other people that smoke cigars. Because when I want to go out or do something, it always involves a cigar. Yeah. So like if you were to come in, you'd probably feel out of place.
Yeah, like the night's planned around it. I mean, I say that when me and Jeff met, that's why it's weird that that's why we clicked, because I finally found somebody that is into this shit as much as I am, and without thinking I'm a weirdo. Because I mean, my wife will tell you my whole day is revolves around my smoking times. I'm like, nope, I gotta have my morning cigar,
it's a thing.
My coffee. Then I do what I gotta do. Then I have my afternoon cigar. You got to give me my hour and a half. So, if you're not used to that and you're not into cigars, that might be off-putting to some people, So you got to be, it's definitely a lot easier with like-minded people, So.
All right. And Jeffrey, for those who don't know who Odelma Matos is, can you tell us who she is and how you became a student?
Yeah, she's a great mentor of mine. Still friends to this day, but Odelma Matos, she's a Cuban cigar roller, worked in Cuba for a long time. She has a factory in Ybor City in Tampa. I don't know how long she's been there, but it's got to be, I met her in 2011, 2012. She's been there for a while. But I met her when I had this crazy idea to learn how to make my own cigars, and start a brand. And I went to Ybor City on a whim. I never knew anything about the place other than after a little research and digging. Ybor is the cigar capital of the U.S. at one time. It's diminished, but it's still prevalent. Yeah. And one of the first stores, I walked past a bunch of them, factories, cigar shops, but I walked past Odelma's shop called La Farallona. She was in the window rolling cigars. And I'm like, oh, that's what I got. That's who I got to talk to, And I went in there, and her family took me in. They treated me like family, made me a Cuban coffee, smoked cigars, and then I was able to tell her. I saw that they had all these rolling tables in the back. Like there was about 6 rows of 2, and I asked her, I'm like, do you guys have that many rollers, or what's going on? And she's like, oh, we actually put those tables in because we wanted to start potentially training people to either work for them, to build their brand down there or whatever. And I said, look, I know this sounds crazy. I have a little cigar event business. I set up cigar bars, but I really feel like I'm capable of making my own cigar, and I would love to learn. And they thought that was the greatest thing. They were so, she was so honored to that I thought of her to do that for me. And we ended up picked 2 weeks. At a later date, I went back, and she gave me complete control, one-on-one tutorage of prepping tobacco, blending tobacco, and actually rolling cigars. And she's been one of my mentors ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Great lady.
And
Great lady.
Chris, so early on in your cigar experience, you started hunting unicorns.
He still does a little bit.
So that's going to be part of my question. What were some of those? What were some of those unicorns that you landed, and what are some of the unicorns still out there in the wild?
Well, to be honest with you, I've cut down a little bit on doing that. Now that I'm in the business, so that's changed things a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I would search. You know, I got some stuff in there from literally probably 2012, 11. Old Fuentes. I have, Steve Saka unicorns. I got Daniel Marshall gold,
Nice.
The gold cigar. I got 2 or 3 of those from 2011. I got a lot of crap in there, man. I can't even. I mean, my favorite. I'm not a big Fuente guy. I like more Nicaraguan tobacco. That's just my flavor palette. But one of my favorite. There is a Fuente that I had to buy a box of. One of the unicorns is that forbidden X13. That's like my favorite Fuente. But all the Padrones. I'm a big Padron guy. Listen, I say this all the time. The cigar industry, the market. It's got so much good. There's so many good sticks on the market. Great brands. Our goal. Right now, at least, is we just want to be part of the conversation when part of your rotation. We're not expecting people to smoke an Amendola every day, 3 times a day, everything they smoke. I mean, that'd be nice too. I'm okay with that too. but
you can don't be discouraged.
If you're a real cigar smoker, you smoke. You should be smoking. A lot of different things. There's a lot of good tobacco out there. So. I'd be lying to sit here and say all I smoke is Amendolas. I mean, obviously, that's a majority of what I smoke on a daily basis. But I break out, all different types of crap. Jeffy knows. Sometimes I'll pull stuff out of my ass and be like, "How the hell? Where'd you get that from?"
I never
sitting
even
around
heard of
for like 5, 6. So. But I got some things.
I like that. I got some things.
I love it.
So.
All right. So you guys, 2 New York kids who, have moved on from New York, but it was just 2 years ago. So you weren't friends growing up. You didn't know each other. And it was just a couple of years ago that you were introduced to each other. Kind of walk us through that, how that beginning relationship was like and what it's like today.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, go ahead.
I'll give my prelim and then Chris could take it when so we have a mutual friend, Yanni. He's actually, we call him the Mouth, Yanni the Mouth. He's actually involved with the Vintage, a brand new cigar lounge in Charlotte just opened up. Awesome spot. It's called the Vintage. Anyway, I was doing an event out in Charlotte, and Yanni was actually helping me because some of the events I needed, would bring someone else while I'm rolling cigars. They're there. Anyway, during the event, he was like, "Man, I'm gonna call my buddy Chris. He's got a nice little man cave. Maybe we could go there afterwards and smoke. If we want to have some downtime, he's from New York. You got to meet him. You're both Italian. You're like cut from the same cloth type of thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'd love to meet him. I'm here. I'm already here. Let's hang out. If he's down, it's 9 to 10 o'clock at night." And he's like, "Yeah, he's thinking about getting in the business in some way." And I'm like, "Look, man, I'd love to meet the guy. I always want to meet a fellow New Yorker, a fellow Paisan, and smoke cigars and have some drinks. I'm all about it." So then, he brought me over. Chris was like, "Yeah, come through." He brought me over. We sit up till 5 o'clock in the morning, hit it off. Yeah, it was great. So that's our initial.
The first of many.
Yeah, that was our initial meet, and we just clicked, man. We were boys from the start, man. We just had this common. I don't know. I felt like I knew him all my life.
Yeah.
So
And then from there, Chris, take us through from that early time to today and how you guys work together.
Well, when we first met, as Jeff said, it was kind of more like we were boys. I respected the fact, that he had enough balls to jump in the game feet first. I like the fact that he was doing something different. The whole Italian theme, that was definitely something obviously I can get behind. In the beginning, it was more of like honestly, in the beginning, it was more of like I just wanted to help him out kind of thing, as far as like, yo, we're boys. I like to smoke. I got some connects to some bigger accounts that I think that I'd be able to help get you into. Let's see how it goes. It wasn't about money or it really wasn't anything having to do with that. It was just like, yo, man, I dig your brand. You're a cool dude. We've developed a relationship real quickly. I want to see what I could do for you and see where it goes. Now, so that was like the first year we met in 2019 where, I was buying products at our own cost, out of my own pocket, just to get samplers to send out to me. He thought I was nuts. He was like, "You're out of your."
I'm like, "Why are you doing this, bro?"
And he felt bad. He was like, "I feel bad, bro. Like you're trying to like sell product for me. You're not getting paid. You're spending money out of your own pocket to buy our cigars at cost just so you could send them to people for free." Like, he thought I was crazy, and I told him, I said, Spets,
you are a little crazy. You are a little.
There's a method to my madness, pal. Watch and see. And after time, it grew. I'm just a little bit. It's our secret, bro. So over time, after the first year, and we started getting some of these bigger accounts. I ended up getting us into Bravada. I ended up getting us into JR, into Atlantic Cigar Company. I told him, I said, listen, man, I know you're looking for a partner. Jeff's problem was in the beginning, like when we first spoke, he was back and forth on the partner thing because he had some bad experiences in the past. So he was a little like, twice bitten, once bitten, twice shy.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little cautious before he jumped back in bed with a partner because the last time he did that they didn't end well. So it took the first year and a half where I told him, I said, listen, let me do what I got to do. Don't worry about it. I'll show you what I can do, and then we'll go from there. And then after about it, like I said, after we got those big accounts, we were just clicking on all cylinders. We were on the same page with everything, man. Like about what direction we wanted to go in, how we should do things. Once that started happening, I said, listen, man, I'm looking to get into this business at some point anyway. I'm already helping this brand get established. We work very, very well together. Why would I go off now after I've been doing this for a year and a half and start my own thing? Or like we make a great team. We're stronger together. Let's just partner up 50-50 and we'll do the damn thing. And I think at that point he was like, shit, like you did everything you said you were going to do. And like, he told me straight out, he was like, how many people I've met that said that, man. And like, it never panned out to anything, I think me putting my money where my mouth is, doing the things, I was raised like that. You do what you say and you say what you do. When you tell somebody you're going to do something, you do it. Shit happens sometimes, but you always try your best and you go balls to the wall.
That's what integrity means. That's the definition of integrity.
But on a deeper level, though, we formed this relationship, and it was complete trust.
Yeah.
We had each other's back. Like he believes in this as much as I do, and that's huge. And saw the same vision. We had the same. It wasn't like we're not trying to outshine each other or look. You do what you're good at. Let me do what I'm good at. Let's put it together and take over.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that was the thing too. I mean, I in the beginning, which is understandable by anybody, this was Jeff's baby. So he started building the foundation. I got to the point where, I say this all the time, he started building the bottom of the foundation. I helped finish the foundation, and now we're building the house together. I say that all the time because that's really the best metaphor.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's the best way I could put it. I think off of the first year, he realized that I was like, no shit kind of, no BS kind of guy. know, like if I said something, you could take it to the bank. So I think with that being said, after that, he just let me run, man. He was like not worried about he understood that he had to give up the reins on certain things a little bit, and you know, he was really good about it. You know, he was like, listen, you know, I came up with ideas where, you know, he was very open to like, yo, that's a great idea. We should use it. Like, I don't care if it was your idea, my idea, it doesn't matter. Like, that's a great idea. And he was open to that. Like, where, you know, a lot of people like would be, you know, it's hard to give that up. And I understand that. But I think he knew that we were stronger together, and that, you know, with me owning part of this brand, that I was going to have a little input too. And my, you know, ideas, and he was open to that. And I'm blessed that, you know, I had a partner that trusted in some of the visions and some of the ideas and the direction to take this brand, trusted in that. I think it benefited both of us. I think he realizes that. And, you know, so far, it's been going really well, man. I mean, me and Jeff have a great working relationship, but not only that, you know, that's the thing. You know, we have a great personal relationship. You know, our kids hang out, we go on family vacations together. You know, it's not just all about business, but, you know, I think at the end of the day, he knows that my number one priority always is this company and us, our partnership in this brand. And, you know, nothing ever will come between that. So, and I think he knows that. And I know that about him too. And I think that's what makes it work.
So Jeffrey, I got to jump in and ask you about this ink right here.
Yeah.
Let me let me see that. That's all in kind of move right there.
Yeah, you know why I did that?
No plan B. No plan
B. To remind myself, this is it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it came out clean, man.
That is really clean. That's good work.
Yeah, I wear it with a badge of honor.
Oh yeah.
So when you guys met, Jeffrey, were you already like did you already have some cigars blended, made? You already had kind of a core line idea?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah, so I had a retail shop for a while, a retail shop and lounge and factory actually for a while, up until about 2016. Then it was just a lounge. And Amendola's birthed there really as a brand out of that shop. Local wholesale accounts. We had blends being made at that time, 2017, 18 into early 19 at Cafe Factory in Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we had a product that was out there. When I got out of the retails, I was really just spending that time networking, doing events, knocking on doors, just trying to, you know, introduce the brand as like, hey, we're here. Like we're not a retail shop anymore. It's actually a brand we're trying to expand. So we did have some cigars, and that's what, when Chris and I met, you know, I brought cigars over that night, and I think I gave him a box or half a box or whatever. And that's how it got started with him going out too, to take that product and present it to other retail accounts that connects he had. So yeah, we were. It was in the growing, like he said, the foundation of growing and blending and having product and an image was there. I just knew that one, I couldn't do this by myself. A lot of moving parts going on, and I also knew that, and we talked about this, that eventually, well, this happened later on, but we were at a point where we wanted to work with different factories and create new blends.
Awesome.
When we decided to really, like, when I really sat down and we really talked and you know, we really got to the thick of things, like, you know, let's talk business, you know, what direction you want to go in. And that's part of the thing that, you know, what I mean, like what Jeff was very open, you know, I made some suggestions, like, you know, I think we should maybe, we wanted to put a better quality product to compete out there. And
a better image.
And a better image. You know, we were talking, you know, bands, boxes. I told him, like, dude, we got to change this. We got to put the names on here. We got to put the name Cannoli on the cannoli, name of the Padrino on. Like, the look, the banding, the boxing, just the whole. When we partnered up, it was like basically Amendola 2.0 because everything changed. I mean, it was pretty much, our the core, our core, the logo and all that, the same brand, but it was a new brand. It was a brand that developed into something totally different. And once we partnered up, I had some ideas, he had some ideas, we came together and we just like, listen, these are changes that we need to make. Me coming in and investing financially, I'm like, listen, to feel comfortable, if my name's gonna be on this too, we need to make some changes, and he was okay with that, and he was on board with that.
And that's what I've been wanting to. It's like those things that it's like I want to do this, I want to do that. I needed somebody like him to kind of be like, all right, well, let's just do it,
Yeah.
And it worked.
Well, and one of the things that we love talking to brand owners about is factory relationships, because that's such an important integral part of any brand. Is
very,
you can have different, you can have blends made here, blends made there, and things like that, but it's it can become a real key aspect to any brand. So what went into your decision, when you started really digging into things and rebranding and all that, to make the decisions for like Aganorsa for these blends and other factories for other blends and things like that? What went into those decisions?
So a couple things. The first one was towards the end of 2019. Chris was doing a deal with Privada Cigar Company, and they wanted our cannoli cigar, a big order. And I didn't feel, actually, I knew we weren't going to be able to do it in Honduras. It just wasn't going to happen. I knew it. It just wasn't going to happen. So we had to start outsourcing. And our distributor at the time, that was the main reason how we got working with Espinosa and La Zona, because our distributor at the time had a relationship with Eric and knew where we were at, knew we had to do this deal and make the production, and they took it on. So that was the first thing. And in the back of our minds, we were still thinking, all right, look, we'll do a cannoli line here with La Zona, keep our core line with Cafe and Honduras. But, there's some other things that went on. I mean, Chris and I are very blunt with this and honest. We weren't satisfied with the product coming in. It wasn't what it originally was or should be. And we're trying to make it work.
The consistency, some of orders, not coming the right amounts, the right quantities, packaged the right way, and it was just something moving forward with all the money invested and the time, and
it had to change.
You just can't have that problem. You can't have that problem.
As a new brand, and this is right when Chris and I officially partnered up as business partners. So we're ready to take this to the next level. We need to have a solid product that we don't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was crazy, man, because, I mean, everything happens for a reason. It's weird. I know that sounds cliche kind of, but everything happens for a reason. People get placed in your life for a reason. Relationships, friendships, whatever it is, we're talking. I call a mutual friend, Brian with Illusione. Actually, I don't even think I called him. I think he just called me and was like, "You guys need a new factory."
Yep.
I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. And then I'm in the background. I'm in the background telling him, "Jeffy, get us into Aganorsa," because I love Aganorsa. When I found out that we were going to be able to work with Aganorsa, I told Jeff, I said, I felt like the guy that just got drafted out of college by your favorite team when you were a kid. Like, I'm a big Yankees fan. Like, that's like if I got drafted out of college to go play for the Yankees. Like, that's how it felt. I'm like, we're going to get to work with Aganorsa, which, in my opinion, is some of the best tobacco in the market. I mean, just the way they do things, everything's sourced from their farms, majority of it, everything's in-house. They have their finger on the pulse of all aspects, from seed to plant.
Such a great reputation and integrity. With them.
And they're great to work with. Terrence, big shout out to him too. He's just one of the most professional people in this business that I've met thus far. Same kind of thing. when you know he says something's gonna get done or it's gonna get done. Like you could take his word to the bank. And I like dealing with people like that. I don't like people who blow sunshine up my ass. I'd rather you tell me the truth and let me just deal with the problem so I can fix it.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, instead of you blowing sunshine up my ass
the
and then
problem doesn't get fixed.
And then the problem doesn't get fixed. It becomes worse. So,
but I say that the how everything kind of just fell into place. I mean, Eric took on the cannoli and then some other things. Aganorsa, Brian Matoli said, call Terrence. 2 weeks later, we're testing blends. And I'm like, this is crazy, And then what else is cool about it was even working with Eric now, we're doing a lot in La Zona, but he's also having 2 of our blends now being produced out of AJ's factory too, just with some tobacco that we weren't able to get. And, he oversees that project for us. So all of a sudden we went from not being satisfied to working out of 2-3 of, in my opinion, some of the best factories on the market that are making some of the best cigars.
Yeah.
So I feel blessed for that.
We're going to break from the cigar story for just a minute. We'll come back. But Jeffrey, we know that you're a proud Italian. It's all over your product. And outside of creating great cigars, you love to also create great Italian food.
I do.
So why doesn't pineapple belong on pizza?
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
Yeah. I'm
going to pretend that never came out of your mouth because I liked you up until 5 seconds ago.
I'm about to punch my co-host in the face.
There's certain things you just don't do. Putting pineapple on a pizza is just one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm a purist. I feel like if somebody created something so awesome, like what the Italians in Naples did with a basic pizza with tomatoes, cheese, and basil, why change that?
Yeah.
And why put pineapple on it? I don't get it. I'll eat pineapple on its own in the bowl.
Is that the perfect pie for you? Tomato?
Yeah, for me.
Matzah, fresh matzah, and basil?
Moots.
Matzah,
he says. Mozzarella.
How about you, Chris? What's your perfect pie?
My perfect pie? Well, it's funny because I mean, whenever we go up to New York, there's this little spot, Giovanni's, right on Grand Concourse and 181st Street, right near Yankee Stadium. I used to go there for lunch all the time and all the guys in there. But that's pretty much my favorite slice too. It's like the grandma slice pretty much, where it's just mozzarella,
simple,
fresh basil, little garlic and olive oil.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And I'm good, man. I mean, I'm a little bit more. I will have what is it? Like my wife will get the chicken bacon ranch or something every once in a while.
I can't do it. I can't. Really, bro? You do that?
Every once in a while, I will. Every once in a while.
Ranch on it.
But listen, when I want something that's going to fill me up in like one slice real quick, with some pizza or, especially if you got the hangover that day and you want something real greasy and like, I can do. Now, I can't go nuts with the whole, like, it gets a little crazy. Like you're talking like California pizza kitchen style, like with pineapples and figs and all that other nonsense. I mean, that's a little overboard for me, But
I could do meat on a pizza. I'll do like
pepperoni, mushroom, and onion every once in a while. Slice pepperoni, mushroom, and onion. If I feel like
I am just perfectly satisfied with cheese that's done right,
and a good Sicilian slice. A good Sicilian.
Oh, I love
slice.
Sicilian slice.
They
don't have those down here.
A good side or corner. You got to have a side or a corner.
You got to have a corner. You got to have a corner.
Yeah.
But what about? I got to bring it up. What about Chicago?
Boy.
What about Chicago pizza?
Oh, come on,
pizza.
man.
It's not pizza.
Come on. We get into this.
Not pizza.
We have a friend. He's one of our online retailers, actually. Steve Boy from Frontline Cigars. And he busts my balls all the time about, Chicago pizza's better. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
He never had New York pizza. I didn't even know.
Get out of here with that.
Although, granted, I never had Chicago
deep dish pizza.
Well, you can't.
New York pizza, thin crust, greasy, extra cheese, money every time. I don't care about no deep dish
Why
Chicago pizza. Keep
differentiate?
it.
Now I will say this. I do like the Chicago style pizza, but you can't pick up a piece of Chicago pizza and fold it and lean over a counter.
I think that's my problem. You have to eat it with a fork and a knife. I've never eaten pizza with a fork and a knife.
Yeah,
they're different.
So it takes away from actually being a pizza. It might be good. I'm not saying it's not good to eat, but it's not, in my mind, that's not like getting a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, who was your culinary mentor growing up?
Well, I used to watch Emerald a lot.
Oh yeah,
on TV. But really,
Bam.
yeah. But honestly, though, I mean, my grandmother, my Uncle Richie, every Sunday he was in there making sauce, meatballs. I used to sit in the kitchen and watch. I love to cook. I was sitting there and then I would start doing it on my own. I was like 9, 10, 11. My mother would tell you, I'll be in there like sauteing broccoli rabe or trying to make a sauce, and I would cook for my sisters. I actually made a nice chicken parm tonight, homemade. Very good.
That's what I'm talking.
But yeah, I mean, just being that's one thing I miss about being at home and growing up was, I mean, my mother was always cooking, my grandmother, and my uncle was there almost every Sunday, and I love that. I would sit there, I could stay in there, watch, hang out with them all day, cook, eat.
Yeah,
great.
Now, Chris, we're gonna get into your background here. So, if you could choose,
sorry to interrupt. Am I the only one hearing a sound like a jet taking off? Are you hearing that?
Well, it's we're having a storm.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Really?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I heard that.
I heard it. I thought, like, I got a little fan on. I thought maybe it's hitting the microphone, but I guess we got a storm brewing outside.
So, Chris, if you had the choice between a Diavol or a Panigale, what would it be?
A what?
What was the first one?
What's that?
The Ducati Diavol or a Panigale?
Oh, Ducati.
I'm not even familiar with those Ducatis. Listen, the last time I worked on a Ducati, they were only up to like the 999. The 999. I had the Multistrada, the Monsters. Yeah, that was that newer model. What was the one that? Not the first one. What was the second one? You said
Panigale.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Is that a newer? I mean,
so that wasn't. That was their earlier. That was their. That was the model above the Super Sport. And that came out, I want to say, in '99.
Wow,
so,
I haven't even seen one of those, man. I mean, when I was in the shop, I worked on a lot of 996s, 998s, the 999 had just come out. I worked on a lot of MV Agustas, which is the inline 4 version. That if I can get any bike, that's the bike that I'm getting, the MV Agusta inline 4. I mean, a Ducati's great. I would take a Ducati on a track any day over any bike because of the suspension that it has with the Ohlins front forks and this, Brembo braking system and all that stuff. But if you're asking for the street, nah, man, inline 4 all day. I mean, people don't understand. Ducati is a race bike. It's made for the track. So it's, it's the suspension system. It's the handling, they're not very high horse. Like, that's why if you ever hear a Ducati, when you crank or hit the throttle on it, it sounds almost like it's broken. It's like clack, 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 clack. Because it's actually got a dry clutch on it.
That's right.
So it's got a dry clutch on it, and it's actually a horizontal V. So it's actually like almost like an L, the motor. You have one cylinder going up and the other cylinder coming out. They're great for, torque wise, they're torquey as hell, great for the track. But if you want to run on the street or on the highway, don't put that up against a Gixxer or a Honda or an inline 4 because it's going to eat it on a straight. Right. Once you get up to the higher gears and you hit it straight away. So,
well, and here's my story. So, 21 years old, I'm working for a car dealership. It's 1999, and I had a fantastic month. This car dealership also owned a motorsports dealership, and we got great
Okay.
deals on bikes. So I went over, and I'm 21. I'm invincible, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Think so. I know that feeling.
And I was like, "What's the fastest bike you got here?"
I still feel that way. Anyway.
Right. There are times where I do. And he was like, "Well, it's the new Honda 929 RR."
It's a good
Like,
bike.
let's do it. And so I bought that bike on a Friday. I brought it back on Monday and said, "I
Too
will
much.
die."
Yeah, it's too much power. You've never rode a bike, bro, and you got a 900?
Oh, no. I've been riding since I was 16.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
so
okay.
I was well, but that bike wanted me to go 200 miles an hour all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just could not tame that beast. And I ended up getting I traded it for a Monster 599.
Okay.
And that was a perfect bike for a while.
Well, because
Still-
like I said, the horsepower, man. I mean, listen, you're messing with a Japanese inline 4. It's all horsepower. I mean, so I mean, you could lift the wheel up without even dropping the clutch just by throttling it in fifth gear on a
fifth
1000. Yeah, on the
I could
highway.
lift.
So
Oh my gosh!
you could be going 100 in fifth gear, 120 in fifth gear, and lift the bike up just
Still
by
lift it.
throttling it. You don't even have
Yes.
to dump the clutch to do it. So I get it. I mean, I've started on my first bike was a 600 RR Honda CBR.
Yeah,
That was my first bike, and it's also, listen, man, power is great. You want to have the power, of course, but I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not like bragging or nothing.
Yeah,
But
you
dead
are.
ass,
Oh.
I've eaten dudes on 1000s with my 600, eating them because they don't know how to ride. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you could have all that power in the world, if you don't know how to use it, you're gonna kill yourself or hurt yourself or somebody else. I was a big proponent of start off on a 600 if you can handle a 600 when it's redlining at 16,000 RPMs going $175 on the highway, then you can get a 1000. Until you can do that, don't even look at a 1000. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree, 100%. All right, let's go back into the favorite thing that we love to talk about. What are your plans for trade shows for this year? So we've got TPE coming up. We probably have PCA coming up. What are you guys planning to do?
Our plans this year are nothing.
Sit it out.
As far as we're sitting it out. I'm a big component of going to one. I think it will be absolutely awesome for us to do that. I think we need to. But it's funny, Chris and I just talked about this about an hour before we got on here. Just that, when we do it, we want to do it the right way. We don't want to show up half-ass and not be able to fulfill orders. We're in a growing phase right now where, we've started doing X amount of boxes per blend to tripling that in about what, Chris? Like
6 months.
6 months?
6 to 8 months. Yeah, 6 to 8 months.
So it's just not this year. It wouldn't be smart. I mean, yeah, could we do it? Yeah, we could. I mean, but to do it smart and to be really confident and to make everybody happy, there's no rush. This business is not.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we're in this for the long haul, right? So.
And we didn't want to get there, and like Jeff just said, this is a balancing act. Especially in the beginning when you're a smaller company that doesn't have just hundreds of thousands of dollars to pump out all the time, and you're really watching your margins. And this is, I say it all the time, it's like a tightrope. When you get to this point, because we want to be able to maintain the customers that we have, so they get first obviously, because they're loyal to us, we're loyal to them. We want to be able to give them first dibs on everything. Now we're getting some bigger accounts that are taking bigger orders, so we're like, all right, let's bump up our inventory. But you don't want to bump up too much of your inventory and use all your liquid, and then be sitting on it for months either. So you don't want to go too crazy, but then at the same time, you still want to have enough inventory to cover all your loyalty customers that supported us from the jump, and still be able to grow the business with people like our broker, down in Florida, we're trying to get it. We got another one that we might be bringing on board up in the tri-state area. You know, they need product to help grow our business, because if we sell everything out as soon as it comes in to all our big retailers, there's nothing left for the small little brick and mortars,
and that's what's
there's
been
nothing left
happening.
for our brokers to grow our business. You know, so it pisses the broker off. Then it prevents us from getting new accounts, but at the same time we have to take care of our old accounts. So it's a really fine line and balancing act. You know, I mean, me and Jeff, we talk about this all the time too. We talked about that today too. Was like, we never thought we would complain about selling out, but it's, usually think it's a good problem to have, and it is, but at the same time, it makes things more complicated because you have to keep on taking the money and putting it back into your company, not taking profit, constantly trying to just get the inventory up to be able to withstand the sales. And the trade show. Like, if we go to a trade show and we get a big order, now we're wiped out and we can't sell anything to JR or Atlantic or, Pravada, or we don't have anything for the guys who really supported us. And now what am I going to go to them and be like, well, we got this huge deal, we're sold out, but you've been supporting us for 3 years since day one, and we can't give you anything. Right. Like, we're not going to do that.
And I'd
rather not take the deal and make sure everybody else is happy that supported us, And
I do feel like when we do it the right way, we're gonna really do well.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we are prepared for that growth. Yeah. I'm fully confident that once we show up prepared and people know who we are, they actually see us face to face now and see what we're doing. I feel like we're going to be in a very good position to.
Yeah. Well, and it's a smart strategy, because we hear from brands a lot, and it's not even really only in cigars. It's in a lot of different product lines, especially handmade product lines that are out there. Is, having the big online retailers like JR and Atlantic, that's great, and retailers like that, they sell cigars, but it's the brick and mortars, like you said. The big retailers sell cigars, but all the brick and mortars spread around the country, they grow the brand.
That's what I always say that. I always say we need them. We need their loyalty. We need to be loyal to them 100%.
And you got to have product on hand so that they can sell it too.
Yeah. Yep. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
So 2021, we're going to sit it out. But we're hustling. We're still.
And let's be honest, Jeff. Too. Let's keep it real. I mean, and this is one of the things that help us come to it, made the decision a little easier, was this whole COVID shit that's going on. Because I told him, I said, listen, man, we could try to stretch it, and maybe if the COVID thing, maybe we would have tried a little harder. But especially with this whole COVID thing and the restrictions that are going to be, I'm like, listen. If any year to miss, it's this year. Because you know what? Attendance is going to be down. We're going to spend all this money to go to this freaking place.
They're going to force people to mask up.
Yeah, I mean, we're already hearing from other brands. I'm not going to say who. There's other brands already, bigger brands, that are bowing out because, they're finding out the restrictions. I mean, you're going to have to walk around with a mask on the whole time while you're on the trade room floor. You can only smoke at your booth or a designated smoking area. I mean, how is that going to work at a cigar trade show? Like, I mean, you're going to be sitting there, people are going to be coming up to your booth. You're supposed to be talking to the customers with a mask on at your booth. I mean, listen, if we're going to do it, and Jeff agreed, I want to be able to go, have it be normal, have a good time, have the attendance at what it would normally be at, or damn near close to what it would normally be at. The first year of us doing this, I don't want it to be like half-assed, restrictions. Like, we don't need that. I mean, we're a new brand. We need to hit the ground running, and we can't deal with all the BS. I mean, it was different if we're an established brand that everybody already knows, but for a newer brand like us to go in there, not really be prepared on the inventory side to begin with, and then also have to deal with the COVID restrictions, it's a waste of time for us. It's a waste. It's at this point, we want to go. Trust me, we want to go, but we want to go when things get back to normal and we can really, knock it out the park.
Absolutely. So I just smoking this Naturale and pairing it with this Florida Caña Nicaraguan rum, and I just got to the point where I'm taking the band off. So tell us about this on the back of each band.
That was a little surprise for even Jeff. Jeff didn't even know I was doing that.
So our motto is honor, respect, loyalty, and Chris took on the not to say the challenge, but the responsibility of redoing our bands. But we thought we had them on the bands before, but they were hard to see. The placements were off. So we decided to put honor, respect, loyalty in Italian, onore, rispetto, lealtà in Italian on the bands. But yeah, Chris actually put, he got the lealtà and rispetto fit perfectly on the band. And when you open it up, you see onore, which means honor. Yeah. And he surprised me with that. I didn't see that.
I didn't tell him. See,
it was good. Cool.
This just shows you the trust that he had. Like, I told him, I said, listen, bro, just trust me. Have I steered you wrong yet with some of the ideas? And he's like, no, you haven't. He's like, that's why. That's your thing. That's your baby. The boxes, the bands, the seals on the boxes. That's actually my grandmother's tablecloth from Italy that she made from 50 years ago. If you actually look at one of our boxes, there's a seal on there that seals the box shut. That seal, that design is actually a picture of my grandmother's tablecloth that I was able to get, turned into a digital file and, all that other stuff. But anyway, so there was a lot of stuff when I was doing all this that I wouldn't tell him. I was just like, I wanted to surprise him, and show him, like, listen, let me run. I'm going to show you and watch how dope this shit comes out. And, that was one of the things, the onore. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, listen, bro, I'm going to add a little touch to it, a little something different, put something on the back.
I like it. I like it because some brands put their name back there, but to have honor back there just really symbolizes what we stand for.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's very strong. It's a very
and you only
word.
See it when you finish the cigar and you take the band off. You got to smoke the cigar to take the band off to see it. Otherwise, you don't know it's there. So it's a little tidbit.
Adds a nice touch.
No, I like that because it's rare. I mean, there are a few companies doing it, but it is still really rare to see anybody, take that extra step to print a little something inside the band. And I think I know as a cigar smoker, I enjoy seeing a little something extra when you take that band off and see something in there, or if you see, just little hidden touches like design elements on the boxes or the bands. It says a little something to the fact that you're willing to, go a little bit further than just pumping out a product.
Yeah.
Well, and this is what I told Jeff too, and I love Jeff to death, and he'll admit it right here. He just doesn't have patience for this. Jeff likes to roll cigars. He likes to sell. He's like, I don't got patience for that crap, man.
I don't. The little details, I just get overwhelmed.
And for
me, I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
No, that's not. That's why he graciously let me take care of it.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
But even for me, I mean, I have a way different appreciation for the designers in this business and the people. People don't realize how much goes behind that and how many hours. It's just to make 9 brand new bands, man. It took me hours with a design guy. Foil this line, don't foil that line, put this, put that. All the little touches, people don't realize it. I do as a cigar smoker. I remember as a consumer, when I was, hunting unicorns down and collecting. I always appreciated the little touches. You know what I'm saying? It's the little touches, man. And all those little touches add up to a bigger problem because it shows the customer that you're paying attention, even down to the smallest detail. And I think this is our product. We should, down to every little detail, have it perfect or the best that we can get to perfect. So.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about R&D for a minute. Jeffrey, are you traveling to Nicaragua or anywhere, any of the factories to work on blends? How are you blending right now?
Well, no. So I did before. When I first got in the business, I was, but when we started changing factories and changing blends, we were in the middle of coronavirus. So all travel shut down last year.
That
That
killed it for
was
us
our
to get there.
yeah, that was our key time. So what we did was, I mean, my first conversation with Terrence at Aganorsa was an email description of blends, tobacco, wrapper, binder, filler, and what we wanted in a cigar. You know, Chris and I will come together, brainstorm on profile. So that's how we did it. We did it all through email, FaceTime, and shipping blends back and forth from the factory to us so we could smoke them and approve them or tweak. And now normally in a normal situation, yes, I would want to be there. Chris and I both say this all the time. We want to be touching the tobacco, smoking fumas, and doing. But another thing that was really unique, and it pushed me to do more of, and Chris and I, was to actually roll cigars here at the house or at events with tobaccos we had on hand to really finalize blends or come up with concept of a blend, and then send that to our factory partners to replicate or find out what tobacco we had at our, we had access to make those blends.
Yeah.
That's how we really did it. Now, in a perfect world, we would be there at the factory doing it, but we had to improvise and we had to get creative.
Yeah.
So,
we had to work. We had to work with what we had. We had no choice. Yeah. We're trying to get down there. Hopefully this fall. That's our target date as of right now.
We need to some way. Hopefully.
And it would have. Listen, something that we could have probably got done in 3 to 5 days ended up taking a couple months because you have to go back and forth. You got to say, take this out, or maybe add a little spot.
Yeah,
it made things
the wrapper.
Yeah. Whereas, like, if we're at the factory, like
you can do it right there.
We're no master blenders. I mean, Jeffy's. I'm not a master blender.
I don't consider myself a master.
I know about tobacco. He knows about tobacco. Like when we put our blends together, like he said, a lot of the times we'll get our own fresh tobacco and kind of put stuff together here and be like, all right. Add this, and then once we kind of have an idea of what we want, or at least a profile, then that's what we would do. We'd go back to the factory and be like, we want this, we want this. So we're not just
what do we have at our disposal?
A cigar and put a band on it. We know what we want. Give us what you got. Now we know it's going to taste obviously a little bit different than what we rolled here because their fermenting process is different.
Sure,
the tobacco's different. But we know different rollers. We know, all right, if we're getting tobacco Ligero from Esteli, they got Ligero from Esteli. It might be fermented a little different, but it's from around the same region.
And we know what it's going to be like to come together.
Yeah. And I can imagine that you have access to a lot more tobaccos now with your relationships.
Is
that like being a kid in a candy store for you?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Unbelievable. Even with I don't even know. I'm still kind of like, how did this happen? Who are we?
Well, I say to Jeff all the time, man. I'm like, listen, man, look what we did, in 3 years during Corona, a new partnership, just everything on the back end, on the business side of things, the operational sides of things, the distribution. Big shout out to Illusione, by the way, Brian over there, Tola, Howard, Dion, obviously, them taking on our distribution. I say to him all the time, it's like, dude, like it's really surreal, because like we're just the regular guys that like smoking tobacco like everybody else, man. We love cigars, we love the culture, so for us now to be able, and I'm speaking for myself. I know Jeff, I'm sure feels the same way, but speaking for myself, it's an honor to be able to work with some of these guys that, for years, I'm like, in a way, like you look up to these guys, like Eric Espinoza, AJ Fernandez, Terrence Riley and the Aganorsa, the Fernandez family. Like, to know that 3 years ago, we weren't anywhere close to that. And now look where we are now and look at the people that we're dealing with, man. Like, we're humbled. We're blessed. We're like, holy shit. We're working with some of the best people in the industry, and we're very blessed to have that opportunity and to have them open their doors to, guys like us, and give us an opportunity and believe in us. And that's another reason. That's another thing that drives us. Like me and Jeff say it all the time too, like, you know, that drives us. Like, these guys gave us an opportunity. You know, they don't give that opportunity to everybody. They really don't.
No.
I mean, I know they make a lot of cigars, especially Aganorsa, for a lot of people. You know, so does Eric. But they don't give that opportunity to just everybody. Somebody's got to vouch for you. You got to have, you know. So we don't want to, on our end, have them give us an opportunity like that and squander it. We want to show our factory partners that opportunity that they gave us and the product that they're giving us is worthy of the opportunity, and that we're going to make them in a way like proud. I mean, this is our brand. It's up to us. I get it.
Yes.
But there's some pride into, like, you know what, we're going to show you that you giving us the opportunity and the chance was not a mistake, you know, and we take that seriously, you know.
One
we
of
rep
the
them too, in a way.
Yeah, one of the things I really appreciate was, you know, working with Eric. You know, it's very entertaining. But
that it is.
Yeah, but you know, we did
kind, Mr.
Yeah,
one of a kind.
We did one blend, the Speciale, and we did one release on it. But you know what? It was funny, and we're at a point now, like, hey, if something's not right, or we don't feel like it's what we initially intended on or planned on, we want to fix it, because whatever we put out now has to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it really has to stand. So Speciale is a great cigar. I mean, it tastes good. It's good. But it wasn't a blend that Chris and I were completely satisfied with, right? So we went back to the drawing board on it. You know, we went down to Miami, hung out with Eric, and we're like, look, bro, like, smoke this. Like, obviously it tastes good, but it's not special enough. And he agreed. He's like, you're right. It's good, but it's not it says Speciale. In Italian, that means special. So that was a cool experience working with him and being able to made some really awesome changes to that, and it's going to be a brand new blend, new wrapper.
The new. It's going to be the new.
I'm excited about it, but just having that, being able to have that opportunity, and then it was a good cigar, like I said, but to then make it even better, it's like, wow, I'm excited. Yeah, very excited.
All right, well, I think it's time. It's time.
All right, it is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. Oh, that's slow on the. There it is. And as always, guys, Numero de los Muertos is brought to you by Smoke Inn Cigars. So take just a few seconds and look at this spot about Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month program. So, Numero de los Muertos brought to you by Smoke Inn Cigars. Garrett, what do you have for us this week?
All right. So, as a reminder to our guests and our viewers and listeners, this is a kind of a 20 questions type game where I give a number and you try and guess how these people have died. And this week's number is 52 a year, and it's a 5-year average, and it is in New York.
Oh, it's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So say it again. So
52 people a year on average die from this in New York.
All right, I'm going to name 2 guesses right now.
All right.
1, subway car getting hit by a train.
Was it right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate.
Dude, I worked for the subway system, man.
I
was
know.
a track worker, bro.
That was awesome. Jeffrey wasn't even here for it. Jeffrey's taking a break.
Yeah, well,
Jeffrey,
I hit it right on the first time around, Pally. There's not even a question for you now.
So
I got it right on the first. Right
Jeffrey, welcome back to the show. It's over because Chris already guessed it on the first guess.
Oh,
But we'll see if you can get it.
I had a kid calling me. All right.
Yeah, we'll see if you can. We'll see if you can get it.
52 people a year die from this in New York every year.
52.
Yeah.
Oh, subway death.
Shit. That's too easy. Too easy.
I told him, like, bro, I used to work for the subway system, man. You got.
I actually just knew that because it's a thing.
You know what my second guess was? My second guess was going to be getting hit by a yellow cab.
I was going to say that too, walking through the crossroad, but I think it's a lot more people.
It is. It's like 85.
I was going to say it's a lot.
I did that one a couple months ago.
Yeah,
for somebody. But yeah, Subway. And when I was reading your bio, Chris, I was like, oh shit, he worked for the Subway. Perfect or too easy. And
that would have been bad if I would have got that wrong, right? That would have made me look really bad.
That was honestly, I think that might be only the second time ever that somebody got it on the very first guess. Well done.
Bear got
it. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So interestingly enough, 2020, it hit 72 people.
Oh, it was more. I thought it would have been less.
No.
So I wonder if some of those
that's because you got the crackheads pushing people in front of the train.
No, it was Jeffrey's right. It was an increased suicide count.
Oh,
2020.
Increased suicide. All right.
Oh, damn.
Why would you? I mean, listen. I know it's horrible, but if you're gonna go out, why would you want to go out like that? Trust me, bro.
Yeah,
I've seen
I can think of a lot of better. If I'm gonna off,
dude, go in your garage and turn the car on, pal. You know what I'm saying? Like you really want to get mangled? I've seen it. Trust me, it's not a pretty sight. Do you really want to get mangled all across the train tracks and have your guts all over the place? Like, go sit in your. If it's really that bad, pal. Go turn your car on, put some music on, and drift off into the breeze. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen the remnants of someone get hit by a train before.
Oh, me too.
I was a first responder to that.
Oh.
That was
man
stepped on brains.
Well, there was this one guy who stepped in front of a train, and it took 3 cars to stop. Okay, God. He was able to crawl out onto the other side and ended up losing both his arms and legs after it and survived. So now he's a quadriplegic, and that was probably not a good life choice.
Wow.
No.
So if you're in New York, just you don't
want to get hit, but they don't forgive. Like, put it this way, all right, like we had this thing down there when we worked down there. It's called Blood and Bones. So when you're in the trackway and the tunnels, there's candy stripes. When you see candy stripes, that means blood and bones. That means there's nowhere to clear up. If you get stuck there and there's a train coming, you there's no little niche or anything for you to go sit in.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a big thing down there. It was safety training, constantly, having to do all different fall protection and, what is it, small spaces and, it was a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a different world down there. You gotta, there was a couple times I got into I remember 2 specific incidences. One really bad where I almost got clipped by a train. Like, I had to run. Like, I was running on the tracks with the train, me and my boy, on our ass, beeping, beep, beep. And, like, we had to, like, throw our bags, roll under the track thing, the platform, we almost got clipped. Yeah, man. I mean, it's no joke. Those things don't forgive. Like, you don't put it this way. When you get hurt down there, you don't go to the hospital. You either go to the morgue or you're good. But it's usually it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go to the hospital and get it. Don't happen like that. It's usually you get away with the skin of your teeth, or you end up dead. That's that's it. There's no in between.
No band-aids. So. Either body bag or you're good. Yeah.
So, but it makes you pay attention. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You pay attention.
That's this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, guys, we got a little bit of a lightning round, some non-cigar related questions. Jeffrey, I'm going to start with you on this first one. If you could hear the thoughts of one living person for 10 minutes, who would it be and why?
Oh, God. I don't want to hear anyone's thoughts.
Smart choice.
I don't even know, bro. I
No?
don't even know if I want to hear anyone's thoughts.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What
I'm
about
gonna
you,
say-
Chris?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough question. If I could hear anybody's thoughts.
Wait, can I go back?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And this is, I don't want to sound depressing or emotional, but I think I would love to hear my grandfather's final 10 minutes of thought. He was in a coma.
Oh yeah.
But I remember holding his hand when he was going. I would have loved to know what was going through his mind
Yeah.
with his children and his grandchildren there in the room.
Yeah.
That would have been very significant to my life. And that's a serious answer, but
Yeah.
if I had to say that would be very monumental, I think, for me.
Absolutely.
Well, going kind of a little bit off of Jeffy's theme, and I don't know if I would say their thoughts. If I had 10 minutes to talk with somebody, again, it would probably be my father. My father dropped dead about, it's going to actually next week will be 6 years. And I never got a chance to say goodbye to him. Everything was normal one day, and then I got a phone call. He was gone. And he died on the side of the house, dropped dead of a massive heart attack at 60 years old. So probably if I could talk to anybody, it would probably be him one more time, just because, I never knew that I was not going to be ever, the last time I talked to him, I didn't know it was going to be the last time that I was ever going to be able to talk to him. So
Yeah.
I'll stick on that theme with Jeff.
Absolutely.
So,
All right. Chris, you're first on this next question. If you were about to get into a fight, what soundtrack music would come on?
well, it would either be probably Lamb of God, brutal. I'm a brutal metalhead, so probably some Lamb of God, or some old school, Rough Riders, Styles P, the Locks, Jadakiss. Those are. I was born in Yonkers, so I lived
Styles
in
P.
Yonkers for a long time, and I lived all over Westchester, Yonkers, White Plains, but I was born there. My family comes from there, and I don't know. It's just that old school gully rap that they don't. This new crap is garbage, But definitely throw on some old Rough Riders, old DMX, which by the way, shout out to DMX, man.
Oh yeah,
shout out to DMX, man, and that whole Rough Riders.
That was
crew,
crazy.
Man. Yeah, I feel bad, but
I love DMX.
Yeah, that guy lives a crazy life, bro. You can't live like that forever, man.
That's right.
It catches up to you eventually. You're gonna pay on one side. You're gonna pay eventually. So one way or the other.
What about you, Jeffrey?
Rocky soundtrack, Rocky 1.
Rocky 1. Classic.
3, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you're first on this one. Choose one of the following. You could hit a home run as a starting pitcher. You could score a touchdown as a defensive lineman. You could score a goal in a hockey game as the goalie, or score a goal in a soccer game as the goalie.
Oh, you hit a home run as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Which I did that.
Nice.
Yeah. Did that a couple times, actually.
Nice.
I was starting pitcher, but I could hit. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Chris?
I would say the same thing because I'm a big baseball fan. So I love sports. I played high school football. I love baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport. I love that.
Baseball is always.
I love all sports,
but
baseball has always been my favorite sport. So if I was going to have to pick any of those, hitting a home run in a major league park with a full stadium, that would be my pick. Then maybe I would say after that, scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, right? Scoring in the Super Bowl
as a defensive lineman.
As a lineman. Yeah, that would be my second. That would be my second.
Yeah. All right.
I'm reading the comments.
Oh,
Kira Viajante said Rocky Lost in the first movie, Jeff. Yeah. I said I'm a big fan of The Underdog.
but he got up again and won.
Exactly. That's my story.
All right, let's move into this week's Notable Smokable. And as always, Notable Smokable is brought to us by our friends at Ace Prime. Ace Prime, notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So, guys, we talked a little bit about this before the show, but each week we share a notable smokable that we had recently that was interesting to us. It could be a cigar that's been on the market forever, that's one of our old favorites that we smoked for the first time in a while, or it could be something brand new that we just smoked for the first time. So, Jeffrey, is there anything that you smoked recently that kind of fits that bill?
You know what? Yeah, I remember we talked about this. I mean, I don't vary too far from the cigars that we make.
Yeah,
I do. I smoke, but I love smoking everything we make or the factories that we produce and make. I think the most notable for me would be when we test blended the Speciale in Charlotte, Chris.
yeah.
We sat down and actually got the final product, what the blend's going to be. I was blown away by it. Didn't want to put it down.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
that's good. That's really good.
Nice.
I still think about it. I'm patiently waiting for it to arrive here.
Yeah.
I got one left. I got one left.
I
got one left.
You. I knew it.
And I don't want.
I can't save cigar. I can't save it. If I like it, I'm smoking it.
No,
Chris,
well,
that's got to go in.
No.
That's got to go in the unicorn cabinet now.
No, you know what it is? I'm saving it for when the new blends come in. I want to light that one up and make sure that it's
Make sure it's
consistent
right.
with
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
saving that because that's the only last original one.
I
from
tried to
our
save
test blends that we have. So I want to make sure when they come in that I could break out a new one, break out that old one, and
it's
see
the same.
and make sure that the consistency is there.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I did that.
So, Garrett, what was your notable this week?
Mine was on Saturday night. I lit up a Don Carlos, which I got a box of, and like you, Jeffrey, I just can't put them down.
If I like it, it's getting smoked.
Dude, it's getting smoked,
I
and
can't.
I was the same way. So that Don Carlos is it's a classic cigar. It is iconic, and that Cameroon wrapper is ridiculous.
It's a good wrapper, yeah.
So mine this week is actually a shout out to our friends at the Lazona factory, and also our friends Juan and Kevin at Protocol, and the guys at Cigar Dojo, the Taser. So that's their latest special release from Cigar Dojo and Protocol Cigars. Cool cigar. It's got a double pigtail, so it kind of got the dual prongs like a Taser, and it's a good little cigar, definitely. So that's my notable
Shout
this
out
week.
to Juan Cancel, that crazy
Shout
bastard,
out to
man.
Juan Cancel.
Phenomenal.
Protocol, man.
Chris, you didn't say what
Or
yours
Lazona
was.
family. What? Oh, my
Your
notable.
cigar.
My notable. What did I smoke? Actually, you know what? I actually have two.
Yeah.
One was actually I smoked yesterday for Easter. Was an H99 Drew Estate.
Dude,
I smoked. Dude, that cigar was incredible. I couldn't get many of them. I got maybe like 3 or 4 of them left, but I mean, it was good. It was a very good cigar. That was one. The other one, I wasn't this week, but it's been within the last couple of weeks, maybe month. I'm a big retro guy. I mean, even when we did these new blends, I don't know if you guys like our cigars are great, but we focus heavily on the retro because both me and Jeff retro a lot. So when we were doing our new blends, the retro has to hit, So when you smoke our cigars, no matter which one you are, make sure you retro at least 5-6 times, through the first, at least once towards every third, so you could change, you could taste all the complexities. But with that being said, considering I retro a lot, I got put onto this stick that actually on the box says recommended to retro, and
I know what it is.
It's the Daruma by Steve Saka, dude.
Yeah.
It was an incredible cigar. I'm not gonna lie.
I heard about that one.
It's like toffee, and that's what the name is. It's like a toffee. Like the retro on it is incredible. It's a great cigar. I think he only makes a certain amount. special run for that Secreto cigar bar. I think out in
Yeah.
the alley or
Shout
whatever it is.
out to Ronnie from yeah.
So that's a
really
great set. I had it
really
like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago for the first time, and I was blown away by it, especially with the retro on it. So, but yeah, those are two new cigars that recently I've smoked. That H99 yesterday was great, phenomenal, and the Daruma by Saka. So
nice. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to you by Ace Prime, improving lives through fine cigars. Visit aceprime.com to learn more. So to give our viewers and listeners an idea of some stuff we have coming up here soon, on April 19th, Monday night, our regular night, we're going to talk to Skip Martin and Mike Rosales from Romer Craft Tobacco about their brands and also about the upcoming Weasel Fest. And then we again have, just before that, a couple days before that, we have another special Saturday show. We got rescheduled with Jeremiah Mirafel from the famed Mirafel Cameroon Tobacco Company. Excited to talk to them. And then, as a very special follow-up, on April 26th, we are going to talk to the First Lady of Cigars, Miss Cynthia Fuente.
Nice.
So just beyond excited to get to know her. And
it's a good lineup.
We were beyond grateful just a couple short weeks ago to talk to Carlito live on the show, which was,
you guys are big time.
We're not, but
you are in my mind.
We were absolutely blown away to have that guy on the show, and
that's awesome.
Such a great show,
and it's such a cool family, getting to know them little by little, person by person, and now we're going to get to talk to Cynthia on the 26th. So Jeffrey and Chris, give us all our viewers and listeners a final plug on where's the best place for them to keep up with all the latest and greatest info.
Go ahead, Chris.
First of all, I just want to thank you guys. On camera, I know we said this off camera, but I want to thank you guys. I know Jeff wants to thank you guys. All the social media platforms and everybody who supports us. For giving us the opportunity to come on your show, speak to your listeners, listen to our story, be interested in it. So we just want to thank you for that. We want to thank, obviously, all our supporters from social media, all Barrel Burners, La Familia Sindicato, Asheville Cigar Club, everybody who supported us from day one, didn't know us from a hole in the wall, but was willing to get on this ride with us and give us the opportunity to see, listen, we're a first generation cigar company. We don't come from, hundreds of years of tradition or somebody's going to just hand us a company that's established. Like, we've been doing this from the ground up, day one, me and Jeff,
organic.
And all those, and all those people who supported us, man, just know that the best is yet to come. We're working really hard to bring this brand to the next level and bring a product to the market that everybody will be proud of, and we just really appreciate all the support. We're humbled by it. We're humbled by our factory partners. We appreciate everything. All our factory partners, our distributors with Illusione. Big shout out to Gabriel Paneras with Creativas Marketing. He's been phenomenal. We've been working with him for the last 2 months, and he's been a great addition to our team. And the value he's bringing to our brand. So big shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out also to our broker, Smokini, down in Florida for, doing it up and building our brand down there. Just thank you to everybody, man. We're humbled. We really appreciate that people even have an interest in what we're doing. Obviously, I hope they like the flavor that we're kind of bringing. We're trying to do something a little different. And, we respect, the tradition. But we also wanted to bring a little flavor to it and bring our flavor to it. And we appreciate that, everybody out there is taking interest in it. And, we got a lot more to come. Best place to find our cigars right now is Atlantic Cigar Company. They have pretty much our whole lineup. We'll be getting the new cannolis in a few weeks. But we also have a big proponent and support of us. Big shout out to Pravada Cigar Club, Brian DeCind. He's been a big supporter of us, him in the club, so much love to him. Same thing, Frontline Cigars. You can find us on Frontline. Shout out to Steve and that whole crew. VS Cigars, Kerry Viajante, and you could also go to Sir Louis Cigars, Hunter over there, another great supporter of us, man. So just thank you to everybody. Thank you to our retail partners, and just stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. And you know, if you enjoy our product, just get behind us and
give
just,
us a
stay
shot.
tuned.
Yeah, like Chris said, obviously, guys, thanks for giving us the platform tonight.
Oh yeah,
truly honored. And you know, Chris mentioned just about everyone I was going to say, but also if you want to find us and follow us on Instagram at Amendola Family Cigars, Facebook Amendola Family Cigar Company. Go to our website. You can see some of our retail partners and the links that he just mentioned. We will be updating that in the next couple of weeks, but AmendolaFamilyCigars.com. And we love communicating with people, so don't be afraid to hit us up on there. Share pictures. You smoke an Amendola cigar, post it. We'll repost it. You know, we'll reach out to you. We love the love, so you give it, we'll give it back 100%.
Nice.
We're very accessible. We try to be accessible to our customers and anybody who supports us. You know, we like to be easygoing and easy to talk to. So if you got anything for us, man, even if it's it's a negative feedback, let us know, man. Because
tell Chris,
we gotta know.
not me.
I always got to deal with the headaches. What else is
nice?
Right. He sends them to me.
And guys, hang after we're off the air, hang with us in the studio just for a couple minutes.
Well, and before we go off, we didn't get a chance to really talk about these cigars because we're having such a great conversation, and I want to eat this.
But as you can see, we're not. I was
going to ask you guys if you were enjoying them, what you thought about them, but I was going to wait till later. But,
so anybody who loves coffee or espresso flavors, this Maduro, I don't know if it's the pairing with the dark stout that I'm doing, but I get a lot of deep, rich coffee flavors from this thing, and
it's like dark roast espresso. It's like dark roast espresso.
Delicious.
Yeah, and this Naturale is it's got a little bit of spice, but not so much that there's just these kind of nutty, woody, and a little bit of leather aromas and a little bit of spice through the nose on the retro.
I get a little, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, everybody's palate's different, especially coming towards that middle third, towards the back. You get the spice, the nuttiness, the woodiness, but I almost get, on the retro especially, a little hint of sweetness, almost like a caramel.
I do
almost
too.
like a caramel.
I do
it's not real prominent in your face, but it's there, and it mixes with all the little flavors. So but
absolutely.
So I'm happy you guys enjoyed it, man. If you guys like what we're putting out, all we ask is you tell people about us, man. That's it. Just tell people about our brand, introduce them, and say, listen, give them a shot.
Definitely.
When it looks like you're doing all the right things, you're being patient, you're putting out a good product, you're building all the great relationships that one should do. You're not just trying to, create a cigar company to make some money.
Right. It's a lifestyle.
So our hats off to you. You guys are.
Thank you guys. This is a marathon, man. It's not a sprint. We say that all the time. If you think you're going to get in this business and make quick money, then this ain't the business for you.
Like Chris said.
I equate this all the time. I say to Jeff, it's like the music industry. I mean, I was in a band for 5 years, man, and you got to love doing that because you ain't doing it to get rich, especially if you're in like a metal band or in that. I mean, there's not a lot of money in that, so you got to do it because you love it. And this I find very similar. You have to do this because it's a passion project. You love it. And, this community, the cigar community, recognizes, frauds very quickly. So if you're in this game just because you don't really give a shit about it, you just want to pump out a product just to get it out there and make some money real quick.
Or to say you have a product, like
this isn't the business. This is a time, it's like making wine. My grandfather used to make wine in the basement, or my grandparents were from the old country. No, didn't even speak English. Same thing. It's a passion. You do it because you love to do it, and you want to make something terrific. And if you're able to make something terrific and have other people around you appreciate it, that's even better. And make money off of it, that's even better. That's the
Yeah.
goal, but we also know that, like I said, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So
Yeah.
we rather take our time, put something out that's good and quality, and take longer. So when something does come out, people are like, "Wow, it took long, but this shit is awesome." Then just pump something out there just to get it out there and have it be crap, you know. So that's just the way we look at it.
Yeah.
Well, and what's totally different from, you know, my family used to make wine in a prison toilet. So totally different experience and product there. No, but thank you guys so much for being on. Enjoyed
Thank
the
you.
conversation. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to continue to build this relationship.
Absolutely.
Yes. Looking
We'll
forward
see
to
you
it.
guys again, man. Whenever you guys want us on, we're always available. So just let us
Yeah.
hit us up. Maybe in a year from now, whatever, and you guys want to hit us up, we're always available, man. You guys have been great.
Well,
Thank you for having
And
us.
as you know, the world starts to open up and we're able to travel again and stuff, you know, we're open to getting together someplace and actually sitting down together and sharing a cigar.
Let's do it.
Anytime, man. Let's do it. I'm down. We're always
So
down.
for all the viewers and listeners, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the show on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for listening on the audio podcast. As always, if you guys have questions for Garrett or myself, you can email us right on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. You can find all the latest articles and reviews and things on there. And you can also follow us on all social media at HBT Cigar. And until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
Not bridges.
see you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Deuces.